Mueller didn't want the full report released because it showed all the criminal activity they carried out. They wanted made-up summaries. I told you a month ago, I said the Democrats are acting like they want the whole report. They don't want the whole report. They know it shows the evidence of their crimes and their setups. That's what's all blacked out. You can tell by what's in there. All right, there's this unprecedented circus that's been going for the last 3 hours on Capitol Hill with Attorney General Barr's testimony. And the left thought that he was their God, that Mueller was their God, but when they came up empty, they're now having complete meltdowns. We've got all the highlights for you. David Knight did a great job earlier carrying it live and also during breaks going to the different highlights of it. But I thought we'd just start out now and into the next segment with his opening statement and some of the fireworks of the left flipping out. So here it is. Again, they're in recess right now, but this was earlier this morning.
What? Gotta swear you in. Sorry. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, except you God.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Feinstein, members of the committee. During my confirmation process, there were two concerns that dominated, as I think you will all agree. The first was whether I would in any way impede or curtail Special Counsel Mueller's investigation, and the second, whether I would make public his final report. As you see, Bob Mueller was allowed to complete his work as he saw fit. And as to the report, even though the applicable regulations require that the report is to be made to the AG and is to remain confidential and not be made public, I told this committee that I intended to exercise whatever discretion I had to make as much of the report available to the public and to congressional leaders as I could, consistent with the law. This has been done. I arrived at the department on February 14th. And shortly thereafter, I asked it to be communicated to Bob Mueller's team that in preparing the report, we requested that they make it so we could readily identify 6E material so we could quickly process the report.
Could you tell the public what 6E is?
6E is grand jury material that cannot be made public. It's prohibited by statute. And I wanted that identified so we could redact that material and prepare the report for public release as quickly as we could. When I arrived at the department, I found, and was eventually briefed in on the investigation, I found that the Deputy Attorney General and his principal associate deputy, Ed O'Callaghan, were in regular discussions with the counsel's office, had been, and they communicated this request and had discussions about both the timing of the report and the nature of the report. On March 5th, I met with Bob at the suggestion of the deputy and the principal associate deputy, Bob Mueller. I met with Bob Mueller to get a readout on what his conclusions would be. On March 25th, and at that meeting, I reiterated to Special Counsel Mueller that in order to have the shortest possible time before I was in a position to release the report, I asked that they identify 6E material. When I received the report on March 22nd, and we were hoping to have that easily identified, the 6E material, unfortunately, it did not come in that form. And it quickly became apparent that it would take about 3 or 4 weeks to identify that material and other material that had to be redacted. So there was necessarily going to be a gap between the receipt of the report and getting the full report out publicly. The deputy and I identified 4 categories of information that we believe required redaction.
Welcome back. I'm Alex Jones, your host. I'm going to be playing some of the highlights of the Democrats and others flipping out on William Barr, who saw the evidence of the crimes committed by Obama, Hillary, and the deep state against Trump, and basically called Mueller in, who was unable to ever find anything on the Republican or on the Patriot side, on the Trump side, and said, dude, this is all illegal. You're lucky you're not going to jail. I'm going to get you out of this. That's what Barr is a cleanup guy. And he's not cleaning up Donald Trump's dirty diapers, folks. Donald Trump's potty trained. Donald Trump doesn't crap all over America. He's been crapping all over the Russians and the Chinese and everybody, cutting off their gas deals, sabotaging their operations for you. For you. And the globalist, he's been brutal, by the way. Oh, but the globalists have all these traitors that tell you they hate America and that America sucks and that George Washington sucks and the American flag sucks and our military sucks and we suck and we were never great and we'll never be great. And then the very damn traitors that tell you they hate you and your family and hate Christianity. Oh, we're going to save America from Alex Jones and the Patriots and Donald Trump. Oh, save me, Michael Moore, from the Russians. No one believes it because it's pure crap. Mueller couldn't believe it in 2.5 years. It was even longer than that they couldn't find one American to take money from the Russians. And it wasn't the Russians. It was the deep state. It's all come out. They couldn't get one person in Trump's not even immediate orbit, but way out at Pluto, way out past the Kuiper Belt. They couldn't get one person from our camp to be a damn traitor. They're all the traitors, and they know it. And I'm trying not to drop a GD here, but you know this is the time to drop one because these people are damned to hell. That's not updating the Lord's name in vain. These people are the worst of the worst. I'm going to settle down and go to this clip, but my God. They've been caught doing everything. Again, it's like the police pull up to a robbery at a bank at high noon and they catch the robbers in the vault with bags of money in their hands and people tied up. You're going to prison, man. It's done. But instead, I've got to watch the guilty stand up there and say, I'm guilty. And our reporters are all over this country. And people run up and go, F you, Alex Jones is going to prison. He's a Russian agent. You ought to see these new clips that are up on Infowars.com that Millie Weaver and others got. Man, it's scary what the Democrats have produced. Rutgers. Caitlin Bennett, the video's on Infowars.com. It's gone viral. Millions of views. Happened yesterday. They come up and they say, you're not allowed to interview people here, no free speech. And the police come, and then the liberals do victory dances and actually pose and beat their chest. It's crazy. This country's in a lot of trouble, folks. These people are dangerous. They're authoritarians. And they're stealing your birthright right now, ladies and gentlemen. And they've been caught. So what are we going to do? Every day that these people aren't indicted, this country inches towards total, open, bloody war. Not Cold War, not just a soft civil war, but the real deal. That's their goal. And then they're going to blame us for it. Here's Bob Barb saying the media created confusion over the Mueller report. Yeah, on purpose. Here it is.
So we released that. I offered Bob Mueller the opportunity to review that letter before it went out, and he declined. On Thursday morning, I received, it probably was received at the department Wednesday night or evening, but on Thursday morning, I received a letter from Bob, the letter that's just been put into the record. And I called Bob and said, you know, what's the issue here? And I asked him if he was suggesting that the March 24th letter was inaccurate. And he said no, but that the press reporting had been inaccurate. and that the press was reading too much into it. And I asked him, specifically what his concern was. And he said that his concern focused on his explanation of why he did not reach a conclusion on obstruction. And he wanted more put out on that issue. He argued for putting out summaries of each volume, the executive summaries that had been written by his office. And if not that, then other material that focused on the issue of why he didn't reach the obstruction question. But he was very clear with me that he was not suggesting that we had misrepresented his report. I told Bob that I was not interested in putting out summaries, and I wasn't going to put out the report piecemeal. I wanted to get the whole report out, and I thought summaries by very definition, regardless of who prepared them, would be under-inclusive, and we'd have sort of a series of different debates and public discord over each tranche of information that went out, and I wanted to get everything out at once, and we should start working on that.
That is so bombshell. Let me translate that. I'm sure you all caught it. Mueller didn't want the full report released because it showed all the criminal activity they carried out. They wanted made-up summaries. I told you a month ago, I said the Democrats are acting like they want the whole report. They don't want the whole report. They know it shows the evidence of their crimes and their setups. That's what's all blacked out. You can tell by what's in there. I've been living this, folks. I know. Think about that. Think about that. And he said, no, we're not going to let the media take each piece of this and put out disinfo by it not being public. I've learned that about non-disclosures, because obviously anybody that's worked here gets approached and offered money to lie about us and say incredible things. But most people that have worked here refuse, to take the money. And now we've recorded some folks offering the money and things like that that'll be coming out soon. But you learn, like, a non-disclosure becomes something for people to make up things behind it. Oh, I could tell you how Alex is raping purple unicorns in the basement with the Easter Bunny, but, I have a non-disclosure. And it's the same thing. Oh, you're hiding the report. Release it. Trump's like, yeah, release the whole thing. They're like, well, in the national security, you better not do that, because it shows all them trying to set people up and how it failed. I have personally experience this, my friends. So just, again, we've got Ted Nugent coming up. More clips as well. Please don't forget, we are only listener-supported and empowered. That's how you get around the censors. It's how we reach new people. They want to shut us down. Don't let them do it. Infowars.com/show. People can find the audio feeds, the free podcast, everything. And please don't forget, we're running some of the biggest specials ever. Well, it is the biggest special on X2, the good deep earth crystal iodine. A free bottle of Survival Shield X3 with a bottle of Survival Shield X2.
InfoWars, the most banned network in the world.
There is a mission. I'm asking you to accept it and take action. We have had such a huge effect over the years with our t-shirts, but we haven't had a hit t-shirt in over a year. Yeah, we sell a few hundred here, a few thousand there, but when we had 50,000 Hillary for President shirts on the street, or Obama Joker 100,000 on the street, it changed the world and it funded the InfoWar. All of our apparel is 50% off. That's all the t-shirts, all the ball caps, all everything. So again, I would encourage listeners to understand, if you're in a right-wing or nationalist area, you'll get pats on the back, a cup of coffee probably bought for you wearing an InfoWars shirt, meet a lot of like-minded people. It's a real adventure. But if you're in a leftist area, they don't speak Latin. They don't know what Molon Labe means. They don't know what a Attorney Response Team is. They don't know what a Don't California My USA is. That's some of our new shirts. So that's a fun thing, is just meet like-minded people and spread the word. But if you wear an Infowars.com shirt in some leftist areas around universities or whatever, you might get stabbed or hit over the head with a baseball bat or whatever. So caution when wearing these. But our audience really doesn't run. So I made all these t-shirts that don't have InfoWars on them, and people like them, but nothing like they do the ones that are loud and proud. Infowars.com, or that Trump Medusa t-shirt's my favorite. But the best selling is the in-your-face, big, bright red Infowars.com shirt. That's the one everybody wants right there. We have the Don't Tread on Me. We have Mean Like a Wolverine. We have a bunch of great ball caps, 1776, 50% off all apparel. And they point out it's annual. We've not done this, I looked it up, in over a year. Because listen, the dollar isn't what it used to be. But everything is 50% off. We go and look at what the purchase order is, what it was, and give you literally 50% off. This is the best time, and these shirts freak the leftist out, the globalist out, and it helps fund this great operation. All apparel, 50% off at InfoWarsStore.com. Haven't done this in over a year. InfoWarsStore.com takes you right there at 888-253-3139. Wear your colors loud and proud at InfoWarsStore.com.